Honom i New York och i svenska Tågarp i Skåne.
Well, for one thing, is that it's actually not my music because it's a combination of different experiences, different cultures, and different composers that involves the music that we play together, or that I'm playing when I'm playing alone. When he played this rhythm, it was so familiar to me because I could relate it to all the blues players that I had heard, like T-Bone Walker, and B.B. King, and John Lee Hooker. It's like the sound of the railroad train. Wah, wah, railroad train. Going clicky, clacky down the line. Going down the line, don't stop. Living in a small town right next to the railroad tracks. Here comes the railroad train going clicky clacky down the line. Don't stop. It's a fantastic instrument because I really get joy out of playing the instrument in the street because you meet a lot of people, and I've played it in Bombay and Japan and in New York and Harlem and Watts, and I mean in all the travels and it's good for people to see an instrument that's made by hand. Always the first reaction is, oh, this is something primitive. But then when the black people that I've met have heard the instrument, they can relate to it, and they start singing and start dancing. And another good thing is that it has a certain kind of concentration that you have in playing the instrument, that you have to really concentrate. It's like a mandala, and you reach for the center of it. For instance, like, here's a rhythm that I wrote. It says, That's very important because that's something with the body language in it. Myself, you know, I grew up in the ghetto in Los Angeles and Watts, and I never knew about seasons. And in the ghetto, you really don't really feel, it's not that much nature around. I mean, Los Angeles is just flat. It's dry, and it's very smoggy. Because I remember when I was very young, from where I live was like 113th Street, and we could see the mountains. The first 3 years I was there. I first came there in 1940 from Oklahoma, because when the land was destroyed with oil and the land was destroyed for crops, a lot of people moved to California. It's like the grapes of wrath around that time, and that was our family in the 40s. And when I first got there, the first 3 years, you could see the mountains, but then after that, around in 45 on, you couldn't see it. There was so much pollution, you couldn't see the mountains anymore. And you more or less couldn't really feel the seasons because of, in the ghetto, it's not that much of a feeling of nature. And this is something that I always had a dream of experiencing when I was young. And I always had this dream of being in nature. And I wanted my children to experience that.
Meropa, Marpa, Melerapa, Gantpupa, Kanapa.
left Tågarp, you know, my friend Babaji that staying there now, and I was very sad, and I said I really, you know, it was difficult for me to leave because it was a very beautiful time of the year. But Babaji said a beautiful thing. He said that we must take all this light and beauty to give to other people because that is compassion.
Being here in Long Island City, why did you choose this place?
Yeah, I guess more or less it chose us because we have a lot of friends that are living here. That's an incredible feeling, man, to be where that you go out, you cross this bridge, walk all the way, living in Brooklyn, you cross this bridge, the Williamsburg Bridge, to come into the city, and you know you didn't have no money to catch the train to get there. It's a long bridge. When you get there, you gotta hustle up to make it, you know, to make that rent. I mean, that's another survival, you know, but you gotta do it. You gotta make it. Some kind of way you wanna make it. And you're trying to keep your integrity and your heart, and you don't wanna do nothing wrong, you know? You don't wanna do any bad karma.
Passos negros, mulatos, macumbaleo, aguadio, que pase. Que passos negros, mulatos, macumbaleo, que vacío, que pase, que vacío, que pase.
When is the exposition? When's the exposition? Not until the last weekend in September. Then I leave. I go to Europe, and I'll be in Europe for a month. And then I'm back to Africa. I'm going down from Cairo, Khartoum. Then I'm going to Djibouti, the new Republic of Djibouti. And then on crossing, I make a huge turn and get back over to Timbuktu.
You've be in Timbuktu when?
I'll be there January the 29th. Because New Year's, the first sign I want to see New Year's Day is Kilimanjaro. I want to be right there originally. Yeah. Where you going now?
Wrap it up. We walk down the street. Whoa!
Why do you go to New York?
Well, ever since the first time coming to New York with Ornette Coleman was because we didn't meet in New York. And Ornette is one of the main reasons of me going to New York, because we went there together. And in New York, it's a certain energy and creativity that is it's really kind of hard to explain. But maybe it's because of, I myself, man, I don't think of competition in music. I don't think of something being better or worse. It's just different. And I think that is kind of thing brings a certain ego that is keeping a lot of development of musicians coming together, because everyone wants to feel that they're doing something different than everyone else is doing, and everyone wants to be an innovator and that. And all the innovators that I've known in my life, John Coltrane, Albert Ayler, Ornette, and many others, Eric Dolphy, they all were playing their music and trying to develop in music. It wasn't to try to be an innovator. It so happens they were innovators, but they wasn't intentionally trying to be innovators. And meeting Ornette Coleman coming out of the bebop period was like a whole study, which I could see, like, even now, I'm still like a disciple of his in music. And he's a guru as a teacher. He has a system which is called a homilotic system. Before then, we were always improvising from chords. You'd play the melody, and then you would improvise from the chords of the melody, standards or chords that from different compositions that come up at the time, of the chords of the melody, the composition. Playing with Ornette Coleman was where we would play a melody, which was like similar swing as a bebop, but coming from that and going into other swings, other rhythms. And then you would improvise to create forms, to make the music transcend. The object was always to make the brilliance, bring the brilliance of the music, which was the happiness and the spirit. So as you would improvise to create melodies, create forms, create harmonies and rhythms in your improvisation.
Do the big companies and the industry run the music scene?
Yeah, but they're running the whole. They're running the medium. You know, the companies have the medium, and especially in America. So they want you to do a certain thing their way, and so they take away from your whole inspiration, creative spontaneity. You know, and for me, that's I can never sell out that way.
Have I asked you to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a period in my life now where that I have to decide if I'm gonna be a productive machine, or am I gonna be a human being that wants to create in tune with nature. But I mean, see, the thing is, being in America is that it's survival, and it's like you have to have money, you know, to be able to survive. La ilaha illallah. going to take a little break. Thank you. Yeah, we'd like to thank everybody that's here this afternoon. And this afternoon we're doing a program for television in Sweden. And the program is about a family that lives in the forest. And this family comes to the city. And this family lives in this little house here in the forest. And then they come over to this other island over here. And it's like the impression of music from living in the forest and the impression of music from being in the city. You know? We're very happy to have James Ulmer, Blood, playing guitar with us. And we're very also happy to be playing in a place that we know has been struggling and really making it here in the village for quite a few years. And we remember when it started, and we're glad because it takes the community to support these things that are happening. And we're glad that this community has been trying to support what's happening here at the club at Rashied's place. Rashied was the drummer that Coltrane was very close to, John Coltrane, and he has incredible talent, and a lot of musicians love playing with Rashied because he plays with a freeness in his rhythms that leaves it open for improvising. He's an improviser. Yeah, I mean, he's a very unique musician as far as his approach to the guitar, because you can hear the quality of that soul funk, and you can hear the quality of contemporary classics in his music. New York, see, like I've been in New York at times, man, where it was very hard. I mean, really hard, like sleeping on the roof, sleeping here, no place to sleep, no food, no trying to make it, playing a place just for meals, you know, and things. Different periods like that where it was very hard. After, like, we came to New York with Ornette in '59, and we played for 1.5 years, and the man made very good. The club owner, where he bought another club from, but we were still getting the same pay. And we was trying to better our condition as workers. It was a time when you had to have police cards to play. And if you had been in any trouble or anything, they could take your police card away, you know, and it was very hard times. And afterwards, it was even harder. And even then, you feel like New York has some kind of a conscience. I mean, you're going to paying all these dues. And there's no place, there was no outlet. And if there was a place where that you would play, it would only last for a little while. We moved to Tågarp is because we wanted to have an environment where that the children could be raised with the nature and feel the wind and feel the energy of certain physical, work, which is important. And I really want to get more into that. I've been traveling so much that I'm trying to make my life where next year I can be able to just be a whole year there in Tågarp.
Fint ännu efter regnet.
Ja. Mamma Dormer.
Ja men hoppa, spring och fråga.
See, Tågarp really, the first understanding when we came here was like for it to be in Tibetan, they call it Dharma Dhatu, which is like free space. And from traveling and having to stay in hotels and having to go to circumstances and conditions where that you can't continue working, we felt that there should be a place where that traveling artists and people, it can be inspiration for people to come to visit, to balance themselves in what they want to do in life. and that's what, I mean, the whole essence of what we wanted to have is free space. What's a good thing to say?
I think it's already been warmer.
Okay, try it.
I did it.
all in there.
Boss. Max. Boss.
Oh, this is really
You want to be on
beautiful.
Swedish television? Come here.
It's not for a porno movie.
It's not for a foreign movie.
That's the only movies I go for.
Oh, yeah?
What's the occasion? Just from Sweden?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you excuse me, I didn't know you. How do you do? Very good. We have more goods in the back.
Yeah. I really like that.
Yeah.
Can I see the one with the gold also, please?
Something like this?
Yeah.
So nice.
Oh, that's really
It's a natural, you see, it's a natural silk made in Paris. You see that? It's on both sides made print.
Yeah.
See that?
Very nice.
Gorgeous.
For special for Swedish girl.
You don't have to put anything under there. Absolutely not. Just on the body, chiffon on the body. You can see through everything, you know.
That's be nice. They looking for this that kind of thing.
Yeah.
On the Swedish.
Yeah, very interesting.
What's going on out there? No time to explain. Just be careful. I spotted them. They're disguised as hippies.
Living with the tapestries is something that is really fulfilling. It's a certain happiness and a certain light that no matter how down you feel, it can bring you up. And that's, to me, is a good function.
The laughs, they also have an effect upon the music. I mean, they mean a lot to the music. It's possible to play it there and so on.
Yeah, I mean, the environment of having that much space, if you're living in a loft and being able to practice when you want to, because generally it was like a building where there was factories and no one was there in the evening, and you could just, you can make as much noise as you could, where that you couldn't in an apartment house or in a hotel room. So it gave the musician more of a space feeling where he wasn't closed up. Is a place where that you have to be ready when you're here to be able to produce and have your energies to be creative if you're in that field, which we are, you know, as creative artists. You have to use that energy to be able to survive. And Tågarp is a place where that seriously you can develop in something that you're studying. That's a place in Tågarp where that you can get it done. You can do these very little fine things that are important. New York is a place where you produce it. you excel it, you give it out. And because in New York it's people, in Tågarp it's nature. La 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 babage kichun so bukhar de dabuda. The memory of Harlem to me was always been like the Minton's Playhouse, this jazz club that is always where all the jazz musicians had played.
It's closed now.
Yeah, right. And it's a place where that you have memories of, even before I came to Harlem, of it being like a monument for where things were happening, nightlife. You know, another monument that's always was in my mind even before I came here was the Apollo Theater. And then when I came here in '59, I had a chance to really see those places and see some of the activity, the same way with 52nd Street. 52nd Street and Birdland was really what was happening when I first came, as far as jazz to New York.
There's a lot of black music today. It's a lot of black music. I'm trying to bring it back to Harlem. I'm trying to bring a renaissance in Harlem. I'm trying to bring the ultimate of black music back to Harlem.
It was a period when they moved a lot of people out of Harlem. And they moved them, and the people themselves, they had to move because the buildings were contaminated. They had too many rats and it was falling apart because the landlords wouldn't do anything for the buildings. When they moved those people out, they moved them to the Bronx. And the Bronx now is like the new Harlem. It's the new slums, the new ghetto, the new bad housing. And that word ghetto and slums is not the word, it's bad housing. It's very sad picture to see how all that space is going to waste. You can see now how they would like to make new buildings much higher so that they can cram more people together. I myself, I don't believe that that kind of living is a healthy way, mentally, physically, or spiritually, living in the so-called modern architecture of buildings.
Now and then you go to Harlem, for example with Naná Vasconcelos. What do you want to achieve there?
Well, I go there because I have a lot of friends there. And I hope that I can bring some kind of light or some kind of knowledge from my travels. And I share that with the different people that I'm involved with and the people that I meet. I take the Duzungoni and play in the street, and it's good because they can see something that's been made by hand, and then they can, the black people in America now are really interested in getting their roots and understanding their roots. And what's so incredible about that is that the children is the ones that started that. When I was young, I lived next to it in Watson, where a man made this tower. It was an Italian man in the middle of a black neighborhood making a tower. And he made it out of seashells and out of ceramics and different pieces. And he made this and couldn't ask anyone to help him because he didn't know why he was doing it, but he had to do it. And that's the same kind of energy that has been carrying us on, like when me and Moki, before we were here working with movement and trying to go from city to city and make happenings and things. We didn't know why we would do it, but that we had to do it.
Oh, Sherry! Get it, Sherry!
Yeah, well, the first thing I would say is that it's not my music. You run in different circumstances where musicians saying, okay, I have my music, you have your music. This is his music, your music. But, I mean, everything is so impermanent. How can you cling to something? I mean, life itself is not permanent.
hvor han spiller jazz, og ikke karneval.
Nej, ikke karneval.
Du mener rigtig jazz?